What if I told you that millions of Americans could be just days away from receiving a massive $4,000 one-time direct deposit? That's right. The House has finally moved forward with a groundbreaking proposal that could provide substantial financial relief to Social Security recipients and disabled Americans this January. Stay tuned because in this video, I'm breaking down everything you need to know about this potential game-changing payment, including crucial deadlines you can't afford to miss. Before we dive deeper, make sure to hit that subscribe button and notification bell so you never miss out on important updates about benefits, stimulus payments, and financial assistance programs. Your financial future could depend on it. Let's address the burning question on everyone's mind. Is this $4,000 payment really happening? Based on recent developments in Congress, there's significant momentum building around this proposal. The House has been under intense pressure to provide additional support to Americans who rely on Social Security and disability benefits, especially considering the ongoing economic challenges and inflation impacts we've seen throughout 2024. Now, you might be wondering why this payment is being proposed specifically for January. Well, the timing isn't random. January traditionally sees higher expenses for many Americans, with holiday bills coming due and winter utility costs at their peak. The House representatives supporting this measure argue that this timing could provide crucial support when Americans need it most. But here's what makes this proposal different from previous assistance programs. It's specifically targeted at Social Security recipients and disabled Americans. Why? Because these groups have been particularly vulnerable to economic pressures, with many living on fixed incomes while facing rising costs for essential goods and services. Let's break down who would potentially qualify for this $4,000 payment. First, if you're currently receiving Social Security retirement benefits, you're likely to be eligible. This includes those who've reached full retirement age and are receiving their regular monthly benefits. Second, SSDI, Social Security Disability Insurance. Recipients would also be included in this program. And yes, SSI, Supplemental Security Income. Recipients are also part of the targeted group for this assistance. Now, here's something crucial you need to know about the application process. Unlike some previous benefit programs where payments were automatic, this one-time payment would require an application. Why? The House wants to ensure that the funds reach those who need the most and that all recipients are properly verified. You might be asking yourself, what documents will I need to apply? Based on the proposed guidelines, you'll likely need your Social Security number, proof of current benefits, and possibly recent bank statements for direct deposit information. But don't worry, I'll explain the entire application process step by step. The application deadline is particularly important here. While the exact date hasn't been officially announced, predictions suggest it could be set for early January to ensure payments can be processed and distributed within the same month. This is why it's crucial to prepare your documentation now and be ready to submit your application as soon as the portal opens. Here's something interesting about the payment distribution. It's being planned as a direct deposit to streamline the process and ensure faster delivery of funds. For those who don't have direct deposits set up with the Social Security Administration, there will likely be an option to provide your banking information during the application process. But what can you actually use this $4,000 payment for? Unlike some previous assistance programs, this one-time payment would come with no restrictions on how you can spend it. Whether you need to catch up on bills, make home repairs, cover medical expenses, or create an emergency fund, the choice would be entirely yours. Now, let's address some common concerns I've been hearing from viewers. Many are asking, will this payment affect my regular Social Security benefits? Based on the current proposal, this one-time payment would be completely separate from your regular benefits and wouldn't impact your monthly payments or future benefit calculations. Another frequent question is about taxes. While we're still waiting for final details, it's likely that this payment would be treated similarly to previous stimulus payments, meaning it wouldn't be considered taxable income. However, I always recommend consulting with a tax professional for your specific situation. Here's something important to keep in mind. Scammers are already trying to take advantage of this situation. Remember, the official application process will only be through government websites ending in .gov. Never share your personal information with unsolicited callers claiming to help you get this payment. And don't click on links from unknown sources promising to fast-track your application. For those of you wondering about the timeline, here's what we're expecting. Once the application is submitted and approved, the goal is to process payments within 10 to 14 business days. This means if you apply as soon as the portal opens in January, you could potentially receive your payment by mid to late January. But what if you're currently receiving both Social Security and disability benefits? Good news, based on the current proposal, you would still only need to submit one application. The system would be designed to cross-reference your benefits and ensure you receive the correct payment amount. Let's talk about the verification process. The Social Security Administration would likely use their existing databases to verify most of your information automatically. However, in some cases, additional documentation might be required. This is why it's important to have copies of your benefit award letters, identification, and other relevant documents ready. Here's a pro tip. Start gathering your documentation now. While we're waiting for the official announcement, having your paperwork in order will put you ahead of the game. This includes ensuring your address and banking information are up to date with the Social Security Administration. What about those who don't have internet access or need help with the application? The proposal is expected to include provisions for in-person assistance at local Social Security offices. However, due to anticipated high demand, it's recommended to schedule appointments well in advance if you'll need this service. Now let's address the elephant in the room. What could potentially delay or prevent this payment from happening? While there's strong support for this measure, it's important to remember that it still needs to clear several legislative hurdles. This is why staying informed and being prepared is crucial. For those of you who've been following similar proposals in the past, you might be wondering how this one is different. The key distinction is the targeted nature of this payment and the specific focus on Social Security and disability recipients. This focused approach has garnered more bipartisan support than previous broader stimulus proposals. Here's something that hasn't been widely discussed. The proposal includes provisions for expedited processing for certain vulnerable groups, including those over 75 and individuals with severe disabilities. If you fall into these categories, you'll want to pay special attention to this feature during the application process. Looking ahead, what could this payment mean for future support programs? While this is currently proposed as a one-time payment, its implementation and effectiveness could set a precedent for future assistance programs. This makes it even more important to participate if you're eligible. Let's talk about budgeting this payment wisely. While $4,000 is a significant sum, it's important to plan its use carefully. Consider prioritizing essential needs, debt reduction, and, if possible, setting aside some for emergency savings. Remember, this is currently planned as a one-time payment, not a recurring benefit. For those of you who are caregivers or help manage finances for Social Security or disability recipients, you'll want to pay special attention to the application requirements. The proposal is expected to include provisions for authorized representatives to assist with or complete applications on behalf of beneficiaries. Here's another important detail. The payment would likely be protected from garnishment for most types of debt, similar to how previous stimulus payments were handled. However, there might be exceptions for certain obligations, like child support payments. As we near the end of this video, let's recap the key points. The House is moving forward with a proposal for a $4,000 one-time payment for Social Security and disability recipients. Applications are expected to open in January, and preparation is key to ensuring a smooth process. What steps should you take right now? First, make sure your information is up to date with the Social Security Administration. Second, gather your important documents. Third, Be ready to apply as soon as the portal opens. And most importantly, stay informed about any updates or changes to this proposal. Remember, this information is based on current proposals and predictions, and details may change as the program moves through the legislative process. That's why it's crucial to stay connected and informed. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and hit that notification bell to get the latest updates as this story develops. Have you already started preparing for this potential payment? What questions do you still have about the process? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll do my best to address them in upcoming videos. Thank you for watching, and remember, being prepared and informed is your best strategy for accessing any financial assistance you're eligible for. Stay tuned for more updates on this developing story, and I'll see you in the next video.